I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
Do you mind, Jordan, my luck if I started to?
You do very well.
Something.
Something.
I can, honestly, I'll let you, if you know.
Be out of here by 20.
First thing coming, I'll bring my laptop.
You do look a little bare.
Look different, right? Look casual, this figures all day week, an all day week. I don't think I need it.
It's not like they don't.
I signed the voucher yesterday and left my packet in there, and I looked all over for it today. Mike's like, it's,
I am under.
It's in the room.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm like, okay, never mind.
They've always got something to say.
Do it under the council.
That was the longest minute.
Call to December 22nd, 2025 Village of Lancaster Board meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the unlikely event of a fire or other emergency, we ask that you exit through our exit door, down the stairs, and out the front and rear of the building. Will the treasurer please call the roll?
Mayor Schroeder,
Here.
Trustee Malone Schaefer,
Here.
Trustee Michaely,
Here.
Trustee Miller,
Here,
Trustee O'Brien.
Here. Minutes of the December 8th regular meeting. Need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion by trustee Michaely,
second.
second by trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Abstract of the audited vouchers, please.
I'd like to make a motion that the treasurer be authorized to pay from the vouchers all the claims against the general sewer trust, capital equipment reserve, community development, and special repair reserve funds for the period from December 9th, 2025 to December 22nd, 2025. Further, that the report of the Finance Committee be accepted from the abstract of the audited vouchers, and that all claims were paid against the general fund in the amount of $191,830.34, sewer fund in the amount of $20,210.78, trust fund in the amount of $3,445.50, totaling, $215,486.62 for the period from November 25th, 2025 to December 8th, 2025.
We have a motion by trustee Miller,
Second.
second by trustee O'Brien to accept the abstract. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. A list of correspondence, we have 7 pieces this evening. First is from the Town of Lancaster Building Department providing a report of building permit applications, open complaints, inspection, and expired permits that were filed for properties within the Village of Lancaster from November 27th, 2025 to December 11th, 2025.
Motion to receive and file?
We have a motion to receive and file by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by trustee Malone Schaefer. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Correspondence from DPW Superintendent Wayne K. Cisco requesting approval to purchase a new cat loader from Caterpillar Incorporated, Milton Cat, in the amount of $254,902 through the New York State Office of General Services, contract number PC 70866, and Sourcewell contract number 011723-CAT.
Make a motion to approve the purchase?
We have a motion by trustee Michaely to approve.
Second.
Second by trustee Malone Schaefer. Under the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Third piece of correspondence is from William Shutt, P.E., Village Engineer, providing a recommendation to award the contract for the installation of a Level 3 charging station at Cayuga Creek Park to CIR Electrical Construction Corporation in the amount of $78,500 as the lowest responsive bidder for this project.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the recommendation and award the contract to Sear Electrical Construction Corp. for $78,500, subject to the approval of the required bonds, insurance, MWBE, and SDVOB participation.
Motion by trustee O'Brien to approve.
Second.
Second by trustee Miller. Under the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Correspondence from Charter Communications providing notice of price increases that will take effect on or after January 15th, 2026 for customers within the local community. Motion to receive and file.
I'll make that motion.
And a motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by trustee Malone Schaefer. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Fifth piece of correspondence is from Fire Chief Eric Feldman requesting authorization to purchase 6 sets of new fire decks gear for members from Duval Safety and Supplies in the amount of $20,850 on New York State contract PC 69018 with funds available in budget line A.3411.2602.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien to approve.
Second.
Second by trustee O'Brien, or Miller, I'm sorry. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Sixth piece of correspondence is from Mike Reinhold, Planning Commission Chairperson, recommending approval of the change of use application for 43 LLC for property located at 43 Central Avenue, contingent upon the owner being able to guarantee tenant parking spaces in the parking lot following review by the commission at its December 18th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee Michael to approve.
Second.
Second by trustee O'Brien. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Seventh piece of correspondence is from Mike Reinhold, Planning Commission Chairperson, recommending approval of the change of use application for Lancaster Plumbing Incorporated for property located at 156 Central Avenue following review by the commission at its December 18th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien to approve.
Second.
Second by trustee Michael. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next, we resolutions. We have 5 this evening. First one is resolution to accept and approve the following membership changes for the Lancaster Fire Department as approved at its monthly meeting on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Number 1 is to approve membership for Nathan Sotelli to the Protective Hose Company. And second is to accept the resignation of Alice Creighton from the Protective Hose Company.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee Miller to approve.
Second.
Second by trustee Malone Schaefer. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Second resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to execute a grant agreement with the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation and any and all other contracts, documents, and instruments necessary to bring about the project for a mini systems 2, 3, and 6 infiltration and inflow improvement study, and to fulfill the village's obligations under the engineering planning grant agreement.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 3 is a resolution to authorize and appropriate a minimum of 20% local match as required by the Engineering Planning Grant Program under Mini Systems 2, 3, and 6 Infiltration and Inflow Improvement Study Project. Under the Engineering Planning Grant Program, the local match must be at least 20% of the grant award of $100,000. The minimum local share appropriated, subject to any change agreed to by the mayor and village board, is $20,000, which shall be allocated from assigned fund balance in the sewer fund. The Village of Lancaster also commits to covering any additional costs in excess of the estimated project cost with funds available in assigned fund balance in the sewer fund. The total estimated project cost is $120,000.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee Michael to approve,
Second.
second by trustee O'Brien. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution authorizing myself as mayor to sign and execute a contractor agreement with Union Concrete and Construction Corporation for construction services related to the Plum Bottom Creek Culvert Rehabilitation Project as awarded bidder for this project as previously approved on October 27th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Fifth resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign and execute an agreement with the town of Lancaster for dog control services, including Schedule A with terms and condition as presented with an expiration date of February 1st, 2030.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee Michael to approve,
Second.
second by trustee Malone Schaefer. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Sixth resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign and execute supplemental agreement number 1 with New York State Department of Transportation for funding of the engineering design 1 through 11 right-of-way incidental phases of the Safe Routes for All Central Avenue Improvements Projects with a total cumulative cost of $820,000. Full language of this resolution is attached to the supplemental agreement in the board packet.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien to approve,
Second.
second by trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. All right, this is a portion of the meeting that we open for audience participation. Reading the guidelines is as follows. If you wish to address the village board, please raise your hand to be recognized by the mayor or his or her designee. State your name and address. Speak directly to the village board only using the microphone provided. Speak once for 3 minutes or less unless extended by the mayor or his or her designee. Any unruly activity, including yelling, name-calling, or requests for personal information will not be tolerated. The audience member misbehaving in such a manner may have his or her opportunity to speak summarily terminated. Public comment will only be held in the portion of the meeting as stated in the agenda. Is there anyone who would like to address the village board this evening? I'll ask one more time. Anyone in the audience who would like to address the village board this evening? Seeing no one, we'll move on to committee reports and follow-up. We do have a public hearing at 7:15, so we may have to interrupt that. And we'll begin with, okay. How am I doing it? Losing it. Finance and claims. Chairman Miller?
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll speak for it. The surveys were completed for the paper streets down off of Lake, I guess. We're going to set up a meeting towards the beginning of January with former trustee Maciejewski and the village prosecutor Mark Aquino and village attorney Art Hertzman to talk about the next step for that project, whether we're going to, how the, what work, trying to figure out what work has been done to do outreach to homeowners that are affected by the streets, and who has communicated to the village about what they desire to happen in those locations. So more to come on that, but we're just moving along through that process. And that's all I had for finance and claims.
Okay, thank you. Anything for Chairman O'Brien? Not, Public Works, Chairman Mikely?
Thank you. Only thing I have is I want to thank Superintendent Cisco for taking care of, we do have, as of tonight, we have a lighting up the American flag at DPW. This was kind of an experiment. We're doing a solo one. I'd like to see, so I wanted to do just one of them instead of all 3 of our flags, to see how this works, to make sure, to see how it looks. It is much cheaper to do it, obviously, with a solar light than to have to dig new lines. Let's see how this plays out, see how it works over the next few weeks, and we'll go forward in the future with the other 2 lights, the other 2 flags. And that's all I have.
Okay, anything for Chairman Mikely? Not public safety?
I just want to add to that. I know it was more work than it was. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know it wound up being a little more work than I thought. So thank you.
Well, I think it's a matter of respect. I know for years, Veterans Park had no lighting on the flags, and we ended up doing quite a bit of work there just to light that single flag pole. So
Yeah.
I think it's important. It shows
It is.
respect, and we really should be doing those types of things.
It is, yeah.
Okay, nothing else for Chairman Mikely. We'll go to public safety. Again, I really have no report this evening. Building lights and codes, Chairman Mikely.
We will have back a contract with Denny Architects for a building condition assessment report. We did have, the contract came back, and Attorney Herzog suggested some changes, which they agreed to. It just didn't come back to us yet, so by the January 12th meeting, I think it is, we'll have that. And earlier tonight at the work session, as well as at the last board meeting, we discussed the fob access going forward for the few groups that do have fobs. We're going to, in the next few weeks, have a new fob system here, and we'll have to, at some point, stop giving the fobs away to certain community groups that currently have them. They still will be able to use them during the week, during the weekday. I'll work with Trustee O'Brien and suggest that the library, I'll work with the library to see if they have alternative meeting spaces for them. But it's something that I'm glad we're agreeing to, and unfortunately, we do have to do in this day and age. That's all I have.
Okay, do we have anything for building limits and codes?
I mentioned during the work session that we received the permits from DOT to install the parking lot bumpers next to this building, or building next to this building. And I'll be coordinating with Wayne to have that happen when it is convenient.
Okay, human resources,
I have nothing to report.
community events.
Community events, I'd like to, two motions. I'd like to make a motion to approve the event application for the New Year's Eve event. That's it first.
All right, we have a motion by trustee Malone Schaefer to approve the application for New Year's Eve.
Second.
Second by trustee Miller. Under the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
My second motion is to have an executive session with advice under counsel.
Can we hold off on it until after the public hearing? Because we're like right there. So
Yep.
we're going to bring that back after this. This portion, it's 7:15, and we're going to have our public hearing this evening, and I'll read that to the public. Please take notice that the Village of Lancaster Board of Trustees scheduled a public hearing in the council chambers of the Lancaster Municipal Building at 5423 Broadway, Lancaster, New York, on Monday, December 22nd, 2025, at 7:15 PM to allow the opportunity for members of the public to provide feedback on the 2025 Village of Lancaster and Village of Depew Joint Comprehensive Plan. The full text of the proposed comprehensive plan update may be viewed at the Village of Lancaster website or during office hours of the Office of the Village Clerk at the Municipal Building at 5423 Broadway, New York. At said hearing, any person so desiring shall have the opportunity to be heard. We have met numerous times with the committee, and this looks like we have all our bases covered for the Village of Lancaster, Village Depew. There's been a lot of time and thought put into this. John, do you have any questions? You kind of headed this up.
Yeah, no, I mean, in the beginning I did. It takes a lot longer to do than I thought it would. This has been over a year and a half?
Yeah?
Yeah, probably a year and a half. It's good. It's working with the Village of Depew was great, but they were also, it was nice to work with, first time since I've been doing this, I've worked with different municipality, and it was nice to work with them. It's a good plan for going forward.
Good. Any other comments, questions? Do we need a motion, John?
Well, I think we closed the hearing, right?
Yeah, should we open the public hearing? No comments?
Is there anybody that would like to comment on the master plan? Matt, you were involved, and then I think we came up with, some good questions and good points, and I think.
Yeah, it's a long, tedious process. Public input was requested, and we kind of took in all the information before we formulated this plan. The surveys and the maps and all that, but it was,
I learned a lot. It's worth saying too. I learned from the public. We had several public sessions where people can come. There's also surveys, and I forget the number right now of how many hundreds of people. About 500 people, I think, replied to the surveys. There was interesting comments. Everyone was allowed to. There was maybe 10 or 15 different questions on there where people could give their answers, and every answer was read. Just so that everyone knows, every answer was read. To the point where maybe I had a little too much time in my hands. I created a spreadsheet and I started categorizing the answers. I wanted to know what's important to people in the village, so there were questions, and I wish I had it in front of me. There were questions about, what's the most important thing to you? What would you like to change? And it was a really good, telling way of looking at what's important to people and what matters. And the number one thing, it seems that what's really important to people in this village is walkability. That's something that came up time and time again. There were certain answers of, what they don't like was important as well. But walkability was something that was just very important to a great amount of people in the village. It was nice. It was interesting to see what everybody wants, what everybody likes, and just as importantly, what they don't like.
Any other comments, questions? No, we'll need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion to close the hearing.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by trustee Michael to close the public hearing. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And so now I believe that
Executive session.
we're going to want to put a motion in to accept
I
the
don't-
plan and
I don't think we can adopt it
What's the
yet.
next,
Yeah,
next
and we have to
step is
wait
we have
for,
to wait
so,
for-
yeah, right now, we have to wait on two different things before we can move to adopt it. The seeker process has to go through, so we'll probably do a resolution for seeker at our next meeting, hopefully. But then it has to go to the Erie County Planning Board, and they have a chance to review it and send feedback. So, not quite ready yet, like, it would be,
Well, is she taking care, who does that? Because I know the county has, I think, 30 days to apply.
she was supposed to send it to the county, I'm not sure if that has happened yet. My plan was when I reach out to her to let her know that the public hearing happened, to check to see where she is on those processes. Yeah, because when she was here, I checked with her, like, who was doing this, and she said it was her.
Okay, good.
okay. We'll go back to committee reports. Continue with,
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session under counsel with Art.
okay, we have a motion by trustee Malone Schaefer, second by John Mike. Under the question, all in favor? Aye. Carried.
Oh, there is a step get up there. Yeah, we're on the platform. Nice.
All right. Right.
I'd like to make a motion then, authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement with Skylighters for fireworks for the event on New Year's
Do we
Eve.
have to first make a motion to come out of, confirm with council? Come out of the regular meeting?
We don't need a motion for that, do we, Eric?
To consult with
No,
council?
to come out of.
No, to come out of-
We were in session with council. Okay, if not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion by-
To go in, but not to go out.
I will second that motion.
We have a motion by trustee Malone Schaefer and second by trustee O'Brien to approve the fireworks contract for 4th of July, or rather, 4th of July, right, New Year's
Night.
Eve. Getting ahead of us, looking to warm weather. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
That's all that I have.
Okay, economic development, I have nothing this evening. Sewer Chairman Mickley.
Thank you. So we did have a sewer committee meeting last week, and the purpose was to discuss the latest Watts report, which was an investigation of mini systems 4 and 7. And what came from that is we've discovered some total of 38 different properties so far throughout the village that have illicit connections to the sanitary sewer. So we're going to get that list to Matt, make sure we've got a good list, get it to Matt, and there will be citations going out in the future. So in case it does get back to you, if you hear people complaining. Again, as I said in the work session, what prefaces, what leads this, the only thing that drives this is that there's from the DEC, there's a consent order that we have to do this. And what we're trying to do throughout the village, as probably the great majority of municipalities throughout Erie County and throughout the state are doing right now, is trying to prevent or to lessen the flow into sanitary sewer, which shouldn't be there. So that's what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. That's the reason for it. And there'll be 38 people who probably won't be thrilled, but we'll work with them to find the most reasonable, practical, efficient way of correcting it.
Yeah, very good. We've been doing this for years. I mean, this wasn't going to be an overnight fix, but we're making progress, and I think the DEC is pleased with where we're at. And thank you again, John, for all the work that you've put into this. We'll move on to grants. Chairman O'Brien.
Earlier tonight, one of the resolutions that we approved was for Union Concrete to award them the contract for the Plum Bottom Creek culvert repairs. So the plan right now is to have a pre-construction meeting, hopefully next month, so we can get the timeline established for that project. There will be some disruption in the parking lot back there because heavy equipment will need to be stored. But once we know more, we'll make sure we communicate that out to folks who will be affected by it. We also approved the bid from CIR Electrical for the fast charging station, which will go down in Cayuga Creek Park. So that's just the next step in that process to get those installed. And I think I mentioned it last time we were here, but those kind of chargers make stops like that a destination. Like people will actually go out of their way, they have the EVs, they'll go out of their way to come to the village of Lancaster and spend time here, spend money here while their car is getting charged. So it's a economic development asset for our community as well as a way for folks to drive green. I mentioned during the work session that I sat down with the folks, I didn't sit down, I walked around with the folks from Picasso's to talk about the dumpster and its relocation to accommodate the pocket park next to this building. They were great to work with. They had some ideas that will work out, and just appreciate their willingness to work with the village and find the best solution that helps everybody. Another resolution that we had tonight was in regards to the Central Avenue Streetscape project. Essentially, as I've said over the last couple months, we identified several right-of-way issues along Central Avenue, which will require the village to acquire essentially the sidewalk. Part of the sidewalk doesn't belong to the village. In order to repair it, we need to own it. And that resolution was shifting money from one phase of that project to the design phase, which will then let us move forward with those acquisitions, which is still, I don't have a timeline for that yet. We have a company that we're going to be working with, but that is still a ways out. Also on that, that Central Avenue Streetscape grant, we had a meeting last week with the engineers and with DOT. We went over just kind of the different aspects to the actual streetscape enhancement as far as like replacing the bricks, replacing sidewalks, all up and down Central Avenue. We also discussed the mobility hub. We had provided some feedback that we received from the NFTA and from internal conversations about the mobility hub. So there were a few more designs were provided for us to look at that include now bus shelters, which will be provided by the NFTA. The expectation right now is to schedule kind of a public opportunity to come in and look at some of the plans for this project, to give the public a chance to weigh in and kind of see what we're working on. Tentatively, I think it's the second week in February is what we were looking at for that, but that's a ways out, so it's still in flux. But we will make sure we communicate that information as we kind of specify it. Additionally, we approved the resolutions for, multiple resolutions for the sewer investigations. That's a, grant that we were awarded earlier this year, and those are just those steps that we need to get that implemented. We received an update regarding the wayfinding and the firefighter equipment through Monica Wallace's office. Before she left office, she was able to get a grant for us for the wayfinding and that equipment. It's currently in the DASNY review process still, but there's been some back and forth, so hopefully that's moving along. Similar to that, Pat Chodlinski, our current assembly member, has been working with Trustee Miller on some playground equipment, and we received word from DASNY this week that that's moving along too. So hopefully we get to see that implemented in due time. None of these grants go by very fast, unfortunately, but it's nice to see that it's moving along. And I think that's all I had for grants.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything for Trustee O'Brien? Excuse me. Tech and Marketing, Chairman Miller.
Nothing to report?
Okay, and Climate Smart, Chairman O'Brien.
Yeah, I'll just say on behalf of Sustainability Coordinator Stipa, we appreciate Cornell Climate Stewards coming out to the village. They had access to our building to host one of their workshops, and they gave Amy a chance to speak a bit about the climate action that we've been doing here in the village of Lancaster. It's one thing that I've been very proud of in my time serving on the Climate Smart Task Force, and then now being chair of that committee, is that the work that we've done is significant enough that we're a resource for other communities, and they can look to us and get guidance from us about what they want to do to take similar actions. And I think it's just a really great position for the village to be in. It means that we get ideas coming into us too, which is never a bad thing. Additionally, Amy identified a possible grant opportunity to plant some native perennials in Cuyahoga Creek Park in the garden patches there. So I'll be working with her probably at the beginning of next month to explore that opportunity and try to figure out how we can get the cost for that offset. And that's it for climate.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. All right, we'll move on to department head reports. We'll begin with Superintendent Cisco.
First thing, I just want to thank you guys for the purchase of the cat litter. It's very well needed. I really do appreciate it. Secondly, we're North End, probably a year and a half ago, we discussed getting a generator for the North End Fire Hall. It's well needed. It's been probably 50 years old. So for the next couple of weeks, we're definitely going to start working on that project. So we'll hopefully have the generator done in the next month. So that's another goal. And then other than that, other than with the salt that I discussed earlier, that it seems to have affected local business owners, not us, so the municipality should be okay. And other than that, everything's going pretty good.
Very good. Thank you so much. Again, unfortunately, we've been out plowing a few times, and our streets are always in good shape. The crews are out quick, and we appreciate everything that's being done down there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anything for Superintendent Cisco? If not, we'll go to Clerk Treasurer Stegmeyer.
Nothing further other than I mentioned earlier, I have our hard copies of the financial reports if anyone would like them.
All right, thanks, Mike. Code Enforcement, Michelle?
Report, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chief?
We're at 389 calls year-to-date, so we're a little below 400, which is a good thing, so we won't get what we did last year, but that's always a good thing, look at the calls. As I mentioned in the work session, We switched over to a new reporting system. The due date was January 1st for that. We switched over this week. So we're moving from NIFRS, which we started in the 70s, to a new system that's nationwide updated, so to the nearest system. Again, thank you to DPW, working on the winter punch list for both stations, Station 1 and Station 2. And again, thank you for the gear purchase, the 6 sets of gear for our members. And as I mentioned previously, we'll be at the New Year's Eve ball drop for New Year's Eve. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anything for the chief? None? Thank you so much. Cap?
I have none, thank you.
Okay, Art?
Nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I think, well, miscellaneous, anything? If there's nothing else to come before the village board this evening, I'd like, first of all, to wish all of you and your families a very merry and happy and healthy, prosperous Christmas and New Year. Thank you all for what you contribute. You're here every meeting, and means a lot. And as mayor, I don't think I can speak for the village board, would certainly appreciate it. And if there's nothing else to come before the village board, adjournment would be in order.
Motion to adjourn?
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second?
second by trustee Miller. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much. I rebuilt a railroad signal for Craig Matthews, and he's just being a nightmare. Craig, plug it in.